There we go. We are live. That was quick. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and Happy New Year. It is December 31st, 2019, the end of the year and the end of the decade. And I have 3 boxes I wanted to unbox for you guys because in the next day or so, depending on my availability, I am going to be doing my top 50 purchases of 2019. Those are all ungraded, and then I will do a top 15 of my graded comics. And I'm going to be doing those live, so it's going to be a marathon, so it's going to be for people, especially my power viewers and ultra power viewers who could sit through a whole video, because it might be long, but that won't be this one. That will be the January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd. I'll try and get it within the first week. So, I have 3 key books I wanted to unbox for you guys live. All 3 of these will be in the top 50, so you're basically getting a little sneak preview. But while I'm waiting for people to come in, because you guys know I always just decide spur of the moment when I want to do a video, don't forget the link I'm putting right now in the live chat. There's 2 links. One of them is if you're interested in some of the comics that I'm selling, you can click on the link and check those out. It takes you to a website where I sell other items, like I make organic soaps and stuff, so check those out. And also the Ebates, the link that you see at the end of the bottom of that, and it's also in the description as well if you're not watching this live. If you click on that, and if you sign up and you spend $25 or more on any store, it doesn't have to be just comics or just eBay, there's hundreds of different stores. If you spend $25 or more within the first 90 days, you get $10 additional cash back as a bonus, and I get a one-time referral fee, but it's only for people who actually use it within those that time period. So I want to say hello to the people that are already here, and if you've never been here before, stick around, get into the live chat, be a part of the conversation, because at the end I always do a surprise subscriber shout out. So if you want one, I mean, you don't even have to be a subscriber, but who knows, maybe I'll earn it. So Wobbles, you were first today before I even started. Welcome. Horror Breakdown, good to see you again. Matt, Paul, Scott, and everybody else who will watch this, whether it is live or it is Memorex. And if you are my age, you'll have an idea of what I just said. So Scott is here, Manny the Comic Collector, Sharp Seller is here. Let me put on the video camera because there are 3 boxes. Super Mario's here, and I always make sure I talk about the price and everything as well, so you kind of get an idea of what to look for when it comes to books you may like. And one of the things I always tell people is be patient. Don't be afraid to ask for deals. If you see something, even if it's something you absolutely want, if it's not the price or the grade that you're willing to settle for, wait on it. There'll always be somebody else, even if it takes you a couple of years, because, I mean, if you don't wait for deals, you're usually not going to get them, and then you get a lot of buyer's remorse. And that's why I never get that. All right, so here is box number 1. And Mega Road Project says, Happy New Year to everybody. So make sure everybody say Happy New Year to them as well. And that's one of the things I love about my subscribers and the people that come in the chat. Everybody's always friendly. There's no fighting, no bickering, no arguments. Just everybody here having a nice, friendly conversation, watching videos that they hopefully enjoy. So the good thing is, one of the things I always tell people, and all 3 of these sellers did a really good job, anytime I buy a book, I make sure I message the person, because I don't want to assume they know or they care about how to mail a comic properly. So I will mail them right before I pay or while I'm paying, saying, hi, I would like them mailed a certain way. Can you put them in a box? Can you put them in a bag and board? Because, you know, some people don't even send the comics in bag and board, so don't assume because we love comics, and you guys love comics, see the plug I did there, that they're going to know how to do that, because not everybody that's selling comics loves them or knows anything about them. So don't be afraid to send them a message. And a lot of times, as you can see, they'll listen. Every now and then you'll get somebody who doesn't care, and if the comic arrives damaged, especially if you buy it on eBay, they have a very good buyer protection program, so you'll always be covered. But I have videos about that as well, so check out my playlists so you can see all the videos that I talk about that can help protect you. I even teach people how to buy on eBay, because I get deals all the time. Now I'm at the point, if I can't get something for below what its current value is, and I'm not talking $5, you know, sometimes up to half price of what the going rate is, I'll just pass it by and wait for another opportunity, unless it's a rare comic that it would be crazy to wait on. Alright, so they taped this to the backing board, so I don't want to take too much of everybody's time, so I'll disconnect that later. I have already 2 of these. This is probably about a 6.0 of this comic, but I don't care for the price I paid. There's a little bit of a tear here. There's a couple of spine ticks, but nothing major. This is a book, in my opinion. It's a modern book, but it's not one of the flavor of the month books. This is one of the few exceptions to the modern books that I will always purchase if I see a decent deal. So we got Batman Adventures number 12. This, of course, is the first appearance of Harley Quinn. This is before she got mainstream. She was originally just a cartoon character, but people loved her so much, she ended up becoming a major part of the DC universe. Now, there is, right here from Batman's head up, there is a tear, so that's unfortunate. And there's a couple of color-breaking spine ticks, I would say at least half a dozen. So again, this is probably a 7.0, but still, this is a book that will continue to rise, especially when she gets her next movie. I'm sure that's not going to be the last one. So I paid with shipping and handling only $200 for this book. Now, obviously, there are people that bought this years ago, but you can't compare what you're paying then and what you pay now. So, for $200, I don't think that's a bad deal. And, like I said, I also know it's got future potential. So, that one is going to continue to rise, in my opinion. It's a book you should get. It's one of the few modern books I recommend. This is another modern book. So, 2 of the 3 will be modern books. But they're not flavors of the month. This is one of the books that, sadly, I had to sell to get this home. And it's funny, I really never sold any comics before I had to move. But, you know, sometimes in life there's a thing called sacrifice. And I had to sacrifice some of my books for the greater good of my future and my family's future. Well, my wife and, I guess, my cat, so yeah, family. And I had to sell some of these books. I had a 9.8. And this... Let me see. Okay, that's on the bag, so that's not on the comic. This could be another 9.8 candidate. Obviously, I'll have to get it checked out. But this is another modern book that I do not believe is a one-and-done character, not a flavor of the month. And this is a very hard book to get, relatively cheap. I think I did pretty good for this one, considering... And this looks like this is going to be a 9.6, 9.8 candidate. Of course, I have to look at the whole book. And Comic Addiction says, hello, everybody. Please do not drink and drive tonight or any night. So that is good advice. Robotech says, Happy New Year's. He says, hope the next year will be filled with great success and monster comic deals. Sounds good to me. Wobble says, what if my book comes damaged from eBay and it says no returns accepted? Does not matter. If it does not arrive the way you purchased it, the seller is responsible regardless of what they do and say, because I've had people say that, and I've gotten a refund every time. So you do want to do it honestly. Don't have buyer's remorse where you bought a book and said, I don't know if I really wanted it, and then you return it. You're being dishonest. But if it comes damaged or not the way it was, or they lied, or they switched books, or whatever, the seller is responsible whether they understand that or not. Again, I have a video on my one of my playlists under Comic Tips and Advice that speaks definitely about that particular thing. So check out that video. You are protected. But again, you got to be honest. Don't buy a book and then change your mind and regret it and then lie about something and send it back. That's just bad karma. So here is book number 2, and there will be one more book, so you're getting a trifecta today. This was a 9.8 I had to sell. It was graded, and I'm glad to have this back in my possession. Obviously, this isn't the one I sold, because the one I had was, I had it graded, and it came back a CGC 9.8. This, of course, is NYX number 3. This is the first Laura Kinney, a.k.a. the newest Wolverine. Whether it stays that way, who knows? But this is, of course, a very key comic. And I've seen this going for $500 and up, especially even more. I mean, there's... I don't know if that's a quarter ding or not. I don't think so. It's probably it's a wrinkle in the book. I mean, in the bag. So that's a dodge bullet. But even still, for this price, I only paid with shipping and handling $316.89 for this book. So to basically get this book for $300 in this condition, again, I have to look at the whole book, but it looks sharp. There's not one tick along that spine at all. It looks like there's a non-color breaking little bend right in the corner. So now that I see it, there is a tiny little bend, like an eighth of an inch, but it does not break color, which means that can be pressed out. So it might lower it to a 9.6, but even at a 9.6, to get this for $316, again, is a really good price in my opinion. But, of course, I'll always appreciate your opinions on this. Comic Mag Musings just made a super chat, and he writes, Happy New Year. Thank you for that. And anytime, if anybody's kind enough, obviously you're not required or anything to do a super chat, but anybody kind enough to do it, it does give you the ability to write something. So if you are kind enough to do that, make a little message and everything, and I'll make sure I read it out. Even if it's just to promote your own channel. I have no problem with that. So if you want to send a super chat and say, you know what, I need a way to promote my channel, I'm going to do this, I'm not going to sit there and try and avoid it. I will absolutely do that for you. So, I mean, I do that for people even when they don't do that. So, I mean, I try and help people definitely when I can. This one is the steal of the month. I can't say for the year because, you know, there were some other books that you will see in my top 50. And I won't spoil any of it for that. That should be coming again like January 1st, January 2nd, somewhere in the beginning of the month. And again, I'm going to post the link to, if anybody's interested in buying any of my comics that are listed on there. I'm also at the Wagon Wheel Flea Market in Pinellas Park, Saturdays and Sundays in Booth N50. But even if you could share those links, especially the one joining the cashback program, it helps my channel grow. And anytime I, you know, especially like the super chats and stuff, I use it towards this and also to help my cats and everything. So we had to take a couple of them to the vet, get them checked out. All right, so this book I got way undervalued. As a matter of fact, the seller had remorse selling it because they said it was a newly listed book. And this is one of the things I tell people. I do a lot of my purchases on newly listed books because you'll get a lot of people that don't know what they're selling or don't care to verify. I mean, it only takes, what, 30 seconds to do a Bing search or a Google search on something, and if somebody's not willing to do that effort, well, you know, that's on them. But all the time I get books that are half or more of what the current value is, but you gotta be quick. And the person actually told me after I bought and paid for it that somebody, like 2 minutes later, because for some reason, even if you buy something on eBay that's just listed, it doesn't take it away right away. And I've had that a couple of times where I see something like, oh, I want to get that, and I click on it, and it's already been sold. But somebody offered them $100 more than what I paid for it. So I paid a pretty good price for this book. And this is probably my 6th or 7th copy of this book. But it's another book I will highly recommend people get. Ricky says hello. Michael B says Happy New Year. Willie Survive says, good morning, Chris. Thumbs up, automatic. Well, I appreciate that, but make sure I earn the thumbs up. I want to make sure it's legit, but I always appreciate it. Comic Mike is here. Jeshua's here. He says he got his copy of NYX3 for $10 3 years ago. You definitely did much better than me. So, all right, so here's the last book. And don't forget to wait until the end to see who's today's surprise subscriber shout-out. And, of course, I will tell you the price. So this, of course, is Marvel Spotlight number 5. Like Mambo number 5. And that is the first appearance of Johnny Blaze as Ghost Rider. It's not the first appearance of Ghost Rider because that's actually a man on a horseback. But this is the most popular one during its time in the 70s. This is Johnny Blaze. But this is definitely a very popular book. What they're going to be, from the rumors I've been telling people for years, they're going in the direction of more like the supernatural kind of heroes and villains, like Ghost Rider, like Morpheus, Morbius, not Morpheus, people like that. So I've been telling people for years to get these kind of books. Now this book, even in low grade, is a couple of $100. It does have some spine ticks along the spine. That's kind of common with this book because it's all black. There is a little bit of an indent along the spine, which means someone laid it flat and probably put a bunch of books on it, and that causes that little indent. I have videos that tell you how to avoid that. But even still, I would say there's some couple of color break increases along the corner. You can see that always happens, especially in here. But this is still about a $300 or $400 book in its current condition. And this is probably about a 3.5 to 4.5 range. This will be a book eventually I'll get graded. But you can see there a little color break right there. So it's been a loved, well-read book. For the price I paid under a 0.5 price. They had it an auction starting at 100 and a buy it now for 150. So I didn't even waste my time doing the best offer. As soon as I saw it for 150, I knew a book like this in that grade for that price because I knew the value of the book. I knew I wasn't going to, by the time I made an offer, even if they accepted it, somebody else would have already bought it. Which, like I said, a minute or two later, somebody actually offered $100 more than what I paid for it. And that still would have been a good price. So with shipping and handling, I only paid $150 for this book. And this book is going to continue to rise. And like I said, it's about between a 3.5 and a 4.5, just looking at it from the front. But I always tell people, you're going to grade a book, you got to check the inside, you got to check the back, you got to check the pages, you got to check the staples. Staples are a little rusty, so that might lower it to a 3.0 to a 4.0. But dry cleaning and pressing could absolutely help this book. But for $150, even if it came back a 0.5, I made out. So these are the 3 books. Let me know which one's your favorite. Let me know if you think, compared to what current prices are these days, if you think I paid decent prices for these. So Marvel Spotlight number 5, that's the first appearance of Johnny Blaze, aka Ghost Rider. We got NYX 3, first appearance of Laura Kinney. This looks to be a 9.6 to 9.8. And last but not least, a lower grade, probably a 6.0 to 7.0 at best, because it does have some damage. Batman Adventures 12, first appearance of Harley Quinn. So I think those are 3 books, 3 great books to end the year on. And like I said, in the next couple of days, I'm going to try and do the... it's going to be 2 videos. One of them will be my top 50 ungraded books, and the other will be my top 15 graded books. Now, some of the books that I bought ungraded, I did grade, but since I bought them raw, they're going to be in the first video. So that's going to be a long live video, so hopefully you'll be able to test your Power Viewer status. As a matter of fact, I tested some of my Power Viewer status the other day because I made it seem like I stopped the video, but it kept running for about a minute or two, and then I put the camera back on, and I did another unboxing, kind of like one of those Marvel Easter eggs at the end of the movie when in the beginning no one knew about it. So a couple of people missed that. If you didn't put it in the comments, you probably missed it. So I like to test everybody now and then just to see if they earn their power or ultra power viewership. So let me do today's surprise subscriber shout out. Since I see somebody here that I've never seen before, we're going to give it to them. I'm going to give this to SDA. So SDA, you are today's surprise subscriber shout out. Even if you're not a subscriber, you still get the shout out. Which means, by the way, if you get a shout out and you have a YouTube channel, you've earned the right in the comments section of the video when it uploads to put your channel's link to your channel. And as long as it's kid-friendly, because I do have to check, either kid-friendly or, you know, not something that's, you know, hate or prank videos or anything like that. If it's a comic book channel or a channel that is, you know, something that everybody can enjoy and it's not hurting other people, I will be more than happy to promote it. So everybody give a shout out to SDA. Thank you for listening. Everybody that watched, stay tuned. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification button, because as you see here, I just randomly make videos when I feel now is the time to do it. Check out my website. I posted the link in the live chat. I also posted, it's in the description of each and every video. And if you're in the Florida area, if you ever tend to visit or anything, and you're on the West Coast near Tampa, again, on Saturdays and Sundays, I'm at the Wagon Wheel Flea Market, which is in Pinellas Park. And it's Booth N50, as you see in the screen. So check that out. Hopefully you'll come by, even just to say hello. And if people pay cash, I work out good deals for them. So I'll make sure I take care of you. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a happy and safe New Year's tonight. Whether you have to work, whether you're like me, where we're away from our family, just know everybody's in your heart. Be safe. If you drink, please do not drive. Be responsible. And don't forget, it's not you, it is not I, it's We Love Comics. This has been an interesting year. A lot of life changes in this year. You guys have really been there for me through thick and thin. I know I lost a lot of subscribers and a lot of viewers when I moved, and then, you know, I couldn't make videos regularly for a while. But those of you that stuck in, I thank you so much. As you can see, I'm getting back to a form of normalcy here, so you're seeing a lot more videos, and they are definitely comic related. So thanks for the understandings, the patience, and following me throughout this very interesting year. As Comic Addiction says, best wishes in the new year. I wish that for everybody, even the people that don't like me for whatever reason. I hope they have a happy new year and a safe new year as well, and maybe we'll all learn to get along someday. So thanks for watching, everybody, and don't forget, it is not you, it is not I, it's We Love Comics. And before I go, Jerome says, do you have any Uncanny X-Men comics? I sure do. Check out some of my videos, and you'll see some of them in an unboxing. Have a great day, everybody. Be safe tonight, and have a lot of fun. And no, there will not be any more unboxings, but if you heard this, put it in the comments section. Peace out, everybody.